Earlier this week, the NBA's All-Star starters were announced in each conference. So we're starting with the West. The Warriors, Stephen Curry and Kevin Durant. The Thunder's Paul George. The Rockets, James Harden. And in his 15th All-Star selection, the Lakers' LeBron James, who's also going to serve as a captain. We're going to get into that a little bit later. But first, the NBA's All-Star reserves are going to be announced on Thursday, the 31st, during TNT's NBA tip-off. You look already ready to argue.
You know I am. I'm ready to jump on y'all for some of y'all picks.
We have made our predictions, okay? So we agree on Anthony Davis, Nikola Jokic, Damian Lillard, Russell Westbrook, and Klay Thompson. But we do disagree on which of the Spurs should join the squad, DeMar DeRozan or LaMarcus Aldridge, as well as whether or not Karl Anthony Towns should be an All-Star this season.
Karl Anthony Towns, no question, he has to be an All-Star. When you look at what he's done this season, I like how he's responded after the Jimmy Butler trade. I think he's been more aggressive. He's out there averaging about 22 points, 12, 13 rebounds a game. So I think those stats, his aggressive play, they speak for itself. Those are all-star statistics. I'd like for him to win a little bit more, but at the same time, he's a young player in this league. He's growing, but he's definitely in the league, and he deserves to be out there All-Star Sunday. What say you, Richard Hamilton?
Oh, man. I mean, for me, I'm going with Aldridge and DeMar DeRozan. I think they're my guys right there. I think that both of them have been solid. I thought DeMar DeRozan is a guy that we didn't talk about a lot early in the season. I thought he was a guy that we could have been talking as an MVP-type caliber player, especially on the season, the way he's been able to create his own shot, and he was averaging a career high in assists. So even coming over to Coach Pop, learning a new system, he was still able to come out and be dominant on the offensive end. And then you got LaMarcus Aldridge, who's been super solid, been consistent the whole season, averaging almost a double-double. A guy that knows his role, knows his position, ain't trying to play like everybody else. Still one of the best on-the-block scorers that we got. So I'm going with them two guys.
You do, though, have to have somebody representing the Spurs there on this.
Always.
You think you'll get two Spurs, though?
I think they will.
That's my question.
Yes.
Because LaMarcus Aldridge has almost averaged a double-double, and positionally, he may have the edge to get in over DeMar DeRozan.
Yeah, I like DeMar DeRozan just because of what Rip said, his ability to score the ball. And this year, the career high in assists. They've used him a lot as a point guard to a certain degree because the young fella went down, DeJounte Murray, so they've had to use DeMar a lot more in a different role than he's used to, and he's responded very well. And the Spurs have been playing excellent basketball. They started off really, really rocky, and he's part of to me, he's the main reason why they were able to come back. LaMarcus is a big part of that too, but I think DeMar
needed him.
DeMar a little bit more. So I went with DeMar, and then I gave Karl Anthony Towns the slot I probably would have given to LaMarcus Aldridge.
Even with that bad game when Jimmy Butler came back to Minnesota?
It's one game. One game.
Okay.
One game. I didn't like how he responded in that game, but I will say I'm not going to say he's not going to be an all-star based off one game.
Gotcha.
That was relatively tame. Let's move on to the Eastern Conference.
We did all our real
we did. It's a family affair right now.
Tapping them offset.
Oh, man.
Come here, Real.
The Bucks, Giannis Antetokounmpo has been voted the captain, along with the Sixers, Joel Embiid, the Celtics, Kyrie Irving, the Raptors, Kawhi Leonard, and the Hornets, Kemba Walker. So again, we've made our predictions. We agree on Bradley Beal, Blake Griffin, Ben Simmons, Nikola Vucevic, and Victor Oladipo, who would now be replaced due to injury. But we disagree in some areas, and this one may get a little spicier in the Eastern Conference. Rip, I'm going to give you the chance first to defend your selections of both Jimmy Butler and Kyle Lowry.
Well, first of all, I'm going with Jimmy Butler. I think he's probably the second best player in the Eastern Conference. I mean,
whoa. Second best player in the what?
Eastern Conference.
Jimmy Butler?
Yeah. Why? Who do you think?
I got Giannis and I got Embiid.
We all got Giannis.
Embiid.
I
got Kawhi Leonard.
Embiid's definitely the most talented.
Kyrie Irving.
He missed a lot of games.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Okay, well, so Jimmy's a difficult case, and the only reason I didn't include him in my reserves is because he did spend the first 18 games in Minnesota, because he did leave somewhat of a mess in his wake. Do you think that there should be anything counted against him because of that?
Not at all. I'm a big fan of him. I know his work ethic. I've seen him in Chicago. I've seen the amount of work he puts in his individual game. And that was the biggest problem with him, when guys are not, practicing and playing as hard as he would play. But I think he's a guy that now when you add him to the 76ers roster, he's now their closer. He came in 15, 20 games into the season, and he still was their closer night in, night out. I just think locker room-wise, he's from a leadership standpoint, he's great, but also he's a player that can do a lot of multiple things on the floor.
Look at his face. Look at Brandon.
Now, I have Jimmy Butler up there, too.
I know.
I can't say he's great leadership-wise because this is He had some problems in Chicago, some problems in Minnesota, some early on problems even here in Philadelphia. But you know what? Some of that could be overblown.
Absolutely,
Yeah, it could be.
Yep.
But I don't really know. Sometimes where there's smoke, there's fire. But I do have Jimmy Butler as an all-star, and my second guy is Chris Middleton. I think he actually should have been.
I like Chris.
I think he should have been an all-star last year. So for me, I think I'm trying to overcorrect a little bit, but I had a hard time coming up with who the last guy should be. So I went with Chris Middleton, who his stats are down from 21 points per game last year to 17 this year. A lot of that is because Coach Bud is playing a new ball movement style where he gets less opportunity, but averaging 17 points per game, being the second best player on the best team in the Eastern Conference, I put him up there as my all-star because I think you got to reward winning.
That was one of the reasons why I chose Pascal Siakam. He's put up consistent numbers all season long on what has been, through most of the season, the NBA's very best team.
Right.
But you got to go. But even though you like him, I'm going with Kyle Lowry.
Okay.
He is the heart of that team. I mean, he sacrificed a lot this year. But also, you got to remember, early in the season, he was leading the league in assists. Now second in assists. But he's willing to do all the little things for this team. So even when they had no Kawhi Leonard in that Golden State Warriors game, he came out and led his team. So I think he is the heart and soul of this team. I think he's an all-star this year. Even though his numbers might be a little bit down.
Yeah, his scoring numbers are down.
A little bit down.
His assist numbers are up. His importance to the team is very important because you see in the games where Kawhi doesn't play, they still win because they have Kyle Lowry out there. So if you're rewarding winning, I can see that. I don't have a problem with Middleton or Kyle Lowry.
I like Middleton too. I do.
I think I'm not sure Pascal is an all-star, but I do think he'll be up there
next
for
year.
Most improved.
Yes.
Most improved, he might get that.
Rewarding winning is also why I chose D'Angelo Russell in Brooklyn.
Oh,
one of the NBA's hottest teams since December. So we'll see.
I'm rooting for D'Angelo Russell. I didn't really like.
They caught a lot of teams off guard.
I didn't really like the way the Lakers disrespected him on the way out the door.
Agree.
Like, there was a lot of comments made. That
Let him show up to Charlotte with a chip on his shoulder.
Oh, yeah.
Well, but for the first time, the NBA's All-Star Draft is going to be televised. And on February 7th on TNT, LeBron James is going to have the first pick. He was voted captain of the Western Conference All-Stars. Giannis Antetokounmpo was voted captain of the Eastern Conference. Who will or who should LeBron pick first?
For me,
Steph Curry.
Ooh.
Okay.
I would say Steph Curry.
I would go KD.
I would say Steph Curry.
I would go KD. You know, LeBron likes to buddy you up a little bit.
He do. Maybe try to get him to LA.
Yeah.
That might be a way to try to get him to LA.
Talk to him, tell him, hey, take it easy on me if I see you in the playoffs. You know, hey, come to LA.
Why not use it to your advantage and say, hey, come play alongside me, see what that looks like, what that feels like.
It could be.
Maybe Kawhi too.
Maybe too. Yes.
Hey, time to do some recruiting. LBJ's the best at it.
It's a lot of buddy ball going on.
NBA is AAU now, baby. Team up and play together.
After the break, the highlights continue on this 5-game Saturday night in the NBA. Game time. There's more of it next.
'96 All-Star Game, San Antonio. This game is legendary for a number of reasons, especially for the holsterization of one David Robinson. You've gone on record a number of times. He didn't speak to you, so you contrived the story that he didn't sign your autograph. How did that story come about?
That story was early, and I made it up. He was always nice to me, but I have to be mad at somebody that dominated. And he was a nice guy, so I made it up. And I finally told him 30 years later, hey, I made that story up. He was like, yeah, I was wondering, because I always spoke to you at night stuff. But I made it up. But before that game, I'm at the crib. I'm in San Antonio, boom, boom, boom. Los Angeles Lakers, Shaquille O'Neal, boo. I'm like, y'all booing me? I was the first original big man in San Antonio. I was there way before Dave Robinson was there. I was like, okay, y'all gonna boo me. So every chance I got to score on him, I had to. So I think Penny got it, threw it to Grant. Grant gave me the bounce pass, and Dave Robinson was right there. I was like, ooh, got him. And I cocked that thing back, and I threw it down. Boom, and I looked back at Michael Jordan. He's my fraternity brother. When he gave me that sign, I just threw it up to Mike. You know, I had a pretty good game, and I thought I was getting the MVP, but that was the year that Mike came back, and they gave it to Mike.
Shaq played extremely well. I thought he was the MVP. He could have easily been.
When he raises that trophy, are you saying that's my trophy? What are your thoughts?
I'm saying it, but anytime they pick somebody that's better than you, you can't be mad.
So back to MJ, we know about his legendary performance and he sees the MVP, but you had a great moment in the pregame where you and MJ go one-on-one, and you kind of, we won't say kind of, you shook him up a little bit, gave him that dream shake.
A lot of people don't know about my handle. I was the first big dude to take it off the glass and go coast to coast and either make a play or throw it down. Not Giannis, not Boogie Cousins, me. I was the first one to take it down with style and class, that eye with the handles and throw it down. So Mike didn't know that. And Mike's a great defensive player, so he was there. So now it's like, okay, Akeem, throwing in the bounce, getting back in, beep, 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 beep. And the only thing that made it good is I made the shot. Well, turn around, baseline jumper. And I didn't know people was watching because when I made the shot, the crowd was like, ooh, and ah. And it's crazy that that's still a meme today.
Is that the best all-star moment you've ever experienced?
I would say, because, even though it wasn't a real moment, it was a real moment. A little street style, a little and one, a little I had to show it to him.
That just sounds like Shaq. It wasn't a real moment, but a real moment. It was a moment. We got the video, you big knucklehead.
Well, here are your starters out west for this year's All-Star game. LeBron James is your captain. Anthony Davis or Paul George ended up being the closest race with PG-13 getting the nod. In the East, Giannis is your team captain. Kawhi Leonard, Joel Embiid will join him in the front court. Kyrie and Kemba received a nod in the backcourt. The reserves will be announced on Thursday, January 31st. Now, there are guys out west playing at an MVP level, not named All-Star starters. Nikola Jokic, Anthony Davis, they come to mind. So who do you have as your reserves out west? We'll start with you, 3D.
Well, before you put them up, don't put it up yet. Here's why, because this may be the first year in a while, Tough Truth, that we were going back and forth in the back, where there's a few names. I'm just going to leak it out now because we all love Anthony Davis.
Boom.
But with the Pelicans, the 13th seed in the West, they're the 13th seed. Hold on,
It's not his fault.
What did he just say? It's not his fault.
Well,
did he?
Wait. I'm an Anthony Davis apology.
I know. That's what I'm saying. So let's go up to the East now.
All right.
Right? I can't use it. Well, yes. Well, we love Blake, right? And we love Vucevic, right?
Blake balling.
But Blake's at 10 and Vucevic is 11. So it's like the losing. All right, let's throw our names out. I just want to put that out there first. Throw our names out. I'm my first. Here's Wes. I'm first. All right.
Yeah, you get to go.
That was cool. So at the same time. Here we go. Who we differ? So we agree on Davis, Jokic, Westbrook, Thompson. So we disagree on.
I got Tobias Harris.
You got Tobias Harris. So we both. Okay. All right. So McCollum, DeRozan, and the Harris are the three.
Nobody, look, no matter what, when you look at all these guys' name on the screen.
They're all All-Stars.
Yes.
They're all All-Stars.
That's why I wanted to put that little thing out there first, because when you go back and forth, this guy, that guy, this team is winning, this team's not winning, Portland's in the 4th seed, how do you not, you go back and forth. So that's why this year was kind of tough for me.
Everyone's not going to get rewarded.
Yeah.
So state your case for your two guys that are on the cusp, because we agreed on Jokic, AD, Clay.
Right. Westbrook.
I reward winning. And, what's been consistent throughout the first half of the season is the play of those two guys. Making a seamless transition of bringing DeMar DeRozan over there and him being able to function in that system with the San Antonio Spurs, because that is a system. And he's able to do what he do. And, seeing LaMarcus Aldridge, career high games, carrying them, being consistent. Look, the All-Star reward is your production for the first half of the season.
Right.
Their production has been consistent. They need to be rewarded for that, and that's why I got them rewarded in this situation.
So 3D, you went with LaMarcus Aldridge, not DeMar DeRozan. I think there's a case for each guy. Why did you choose LaMarcus?
Because I thought CJ was bringing a little more to the table in Portland being the 4th seed. And when things weren't going well early on and Dame had a dry month, CJ was taking over. As they was trying to figure out who the third cog, as we say, Nurkic finally started playing well this last month. But when you look at the numbers, that daggone CJ's been there all season long. And there's no knock on the roads. It's just that Portland's in the 4th seed and San Antonio's in the 7th seed. So that's why I gave them 2 and to them 2.
I wouldn't argue. I love this game.
Yeah.
This is the thing about the Western Conference.
It's tough.
It's limited spots, but it's so much talent. You even can go with Tobias Harris. Look at the Clippers. Nobody had them being what they are in the playoff hunt, playing exceptionally well.
losing Blake Griffin, losing DeAndre Jordan, losing all these guys and still balling.
And I have people saying, well, the reason I didn't pick anybody from Utah because the first 3 months of the season, they were at the bottom. But they're in the 6th spot now, and nobody's picked Spider or Gobert.
Well, to your point, it's like when you think of the struggles that Donovan Mitchell had offensively to start this season, but Rudy Gobert is someone that he's hard to leave off the list.
Yeah.
It's the first half of the season award, though.
Now you see why I gave my little speech before it popped up.
I did.
I tried to save all of us because that's how tough it was this year.
I think it's a
Did I
different
save us?
speech.
Did I save us?
You know what you did?
What is it?
You're the politician.
Oh, there you go.
Before I hit y'all with the real news.
Karan, he's got the politician
There you go.
look
There
today.
you go. There you go.
That's why we're going to go with you with your
Suited
East
and
reserves
booted.
first,
you
Karan.
first. All right, East.
You get to explain. Oh, look at this. We agree.
Oh, we're only off on.
Oh! So a lot of similarities, great minds think alike. But look, Kyle Lowry, a lot of people are going to say, listen, why? Because his numbers is down, his production is down, whatever the case. I'm going to tell you what, his production is up. If you look at him facilitating and doing a little bit of everything, but look at the assist number, 9.4 a game, not shooting a high field goal percentage, but still getting his double figures in points. Floor general, I feel like they're excelling because of he regressed in trying to score, and now he's taking on the true floor general role in facilitating.
I'm going to take it a step further, Chris. You know what he did? Hey, Kawhi, look. Me and DeMar, we're best friends, man. Look, I'm cool. I'm over that, man. You my new best friend. We need to stay at the top of the East.
And I want
That's
you
why
here.
I want you here after
Please.
this. Stay here. I'm going to stay if you stay. And we cool. We stay at 1 and 2. That keep us together.
Because if you leave, I'm
Ah,
done.
man, shit, I'm going to have to be traded.
Oh, I
That's
get
why-
it. I'm DeMar DeRozan in this situation.
Yeah, DeMar, you
guys
going
I'm
somewhere,
on a
man.
new-
Yeah,
So
you
we
going
staying.
Yeah, I'll see him in the summertime. But you know, right now, me and you, we just got to fight Giannis. LeBron gone.
Yeah, he out.
LeBron gone.
It's open,
DeMar
dog.
gone too.
It's open.
Look, we trying to stay here. We got to fight. You know, Giannis. We got to double team him. And you know, Indiana, they're gonna be cool. Embiid, they're gonna fight us. But this could be our year, bro.
Ben Simmons can't get a jump shot in the
No,
playoffs.
bro. No, it's me and you, bro.
We got a shot.
You got Siakam. CJ gonna start making shots for us. You see how Ibaka's back blocking shots, defending.
We deep. We believe.
We've been top of the East most of the season.
Now the boogeyman goes.
Come on, man. Kyle
Hey,
Lowry.
the only thing I will say is maybe one too many guards on that list.
Hey, until they
Because
put,
2009
until they
is
add
the last time that
until they
any
add the
team-
center position back, then I'll have that conversation.
I'm going to throw something
Yeah.
out there, too,
right.
because we ain't addressed this. Victor Oladipo, with that position, and I think the commissioner gets to insert the All-Star.
the replacement.
Don't be surprised if you possibly see Dwayne Wade in that situation.
Ooh, I like
Last
that.
dance,
I like
man.
the last. I'm not
Kobe
mad at
Bryant.
that. I like that a lot.
I
Last
feel
dance?
like the
Come on.
politician
Hey, hold
over
on.
there has some inside
Hey,
But
information.
listen to me. The Miami Heat in the 7th spot with no Dragic. All season long, he got hurt like the first month of the season. And correct me if I'm wrong, Justin, but he got
Deion
hurt so
Waiters was
early.
out.
Waiters missed the first 3 months, and they're still in the 7th spot. And nobody even thinking about picking not one guy.
I'm just putting it out there. Keep the party
I
going.
like that.
I like how you're taking shots on this show so far and nailing them, CB. I see it. So when we come back, some more shots going to be taken. 3D having a sit down with the shooter or part of the Splash
Leave it.
Brothers. Are we calling them Splash Cousins now? Splash Brothers?
No,
Honey
Splash
Cousins?
Brothers.
Mama named Clay.
You gotta get
I'm
him.
going to call him Clay.
Bunch
Yeah,
of
I'm gonna call him
nicknames.
Clay.